first ever Monroe Express men's soccer show alongside Giorgio Manzula, our head coach. And obviously, Coach, you're coming into this year with massive expectations. First ever regional championship. You were named Coach of the Year of the region and make it to the national title. So obviously with expectations high, we always know about pressure, but it's got to be fun too to kick off the season again. Last year was abbreviated. Now you have a full season. You must be pumped.
Yes, very excited. Obviously, coming off of good season, winning the region championship for the first time for our program's history. Yes, expectations. I don't look at it as expectations being high or anything. I just look at it as just taking it one game at a time, one training session at a time, and see what it leads us.
Obviously, you have two great players here that come back. You're two All-Americas, first ever in program history. On the front end there, James, one of your top goal scorers. And then, of course, Bernie Castillo back on a defense that returns 24 combined starts. Talk about each one of them and how great it is to have both of them back.
It's great to have both of those guys. Obviously, James Garbier, our center forward, was a big player for us. It's exciting to have him back. A lot of schools are interested in James, but he has obviously another year with us. He brings athleticism, physicality, and his work rate, his gamesmanship, which will help us a lot this year as well. And obviously Bernie, very solid defender, All-American as well. His presence in the back line is very important for us. And I think they both will have even better season this year, in my opinion. I think the last season was just a warm-up season for these guys, but bigger expectations for them, so pressure's on them for sure, not on me.
You mentioned the word year,
yes.
And you also get a couple of players with that extra year eligibility to come back, but played in 2019. Obviously, your top setup man comes back, Andres Lora, 3 assists last year, was tops on the team. He played in 2019. So did Abul Chowhari, as well as another defenseman. So it's always good, too, when you get some players that played 2 seasons ago. They know the culture, and they're locked in.
Yeah, also Sabitu Isaiah. He was a very big player for us in 2019. It's great to have him back as a sophomore. He's been battling injuries in 2020, but he's good to go now. So very excited to have him come back to be part of this team this year again.
When I first started the job, obviously now 3 weeks in, when I first met you, you said you can't go anywhere really in soccer if you don't have a strong keeper. Well, you have a strong keeper. Jose Hernandez, outstanding. His career high 8 saves came in that regional championship that helped you take out Suffolk. But you also have a youngster, Aaron Quesada. That must be a relief there to have 2 guys to maybe go to this year.
Yes, I rate both of the goalkeepers. Jose, obviously, our returning goalkeeper from this past spring season. And Aaron Quesada, who is a transfer, it's his sophomore year, also brings experience and quality. So it's nice to have 2 goalkeepers who are both up to the level and who are actually competing for the starting spot. So it's up for the grabs still. So when you have 2 players who are really good at what they do in the same position, it always adds on to the team. It's never a bad thing.
So my final question here: you took on SUNY Ulster 2 years ago, won 4-0. But now this year, again, it's going to come back to a little bit more of a deeper region because, of course, you had an abbreviated season. You're coming into SUNY Ulster. Let's start with that. I mean, what are you expecting out of the guys tomorrow night? You've talked about effort, talked about keeping your foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah, you can't really judge, in junior college, especially from teams from 2019, because obviously teams change every year. But we only control what we can bring to the table, obviously. So for tomorrow, I expect to show dominance on the field. Not only, how we play, but leadership-wise and team kind of coming together, because we have 3 scrimmages under us already, and we have been training for 2.5 weeks now. So I think we are getting better game by game. And tomorrow, expectations are high from the group, pressure's on, but I think we are more than ready, and we are excited to kick off the season tomorrow. So let's see what happens.